Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country. From the blue-collar professor, he teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
The leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry, or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Alright folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place. Welcome.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
It got up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Whoa. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Now get started again.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to it, where we continually take the left of school, exposing them for who and what they are, all while arming the hardworking people of America like you and me with knowledge we need to hold our elected officials accountable. But fear not. Unlike other professors' classrooms, you will not find a safe zone here. Why? Because we believe in the First Amendment. What a night, ladies and gentlemen. I have to admit I'm running on little sleep. I was up late paying attention to everything that was going on. But before we jump into that, if you would like to connect with the show, you are welcome to do so via the web, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com. You're welcome to email me anytime. I look forward to those emails. Gavin at thegavinmitchellshow.com. We're on Twitter at The GM Show, Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. You can find our daily offerings and the live offering on Saturday night on demand anytime you would like. iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and Google Play as well. And we are so close to those 100 followers on Spreaker. We need about 8 more. And so if you have not taken the opportunity to get out there and follow us on Spreaker, we sure would appreciate it. You can do so simply by searching The Gavin Mitchell Show, and it will pull it up. Just click the follow button. If you do not have a Spreaker account, if you would not mind taking the time, it costs zero money, just a couple minutes to sign up, and then search The Gavin Mitchell Show. Click that follow button. It would mean the world to us. Once we hit that 100th follower, we qualify to apply to join the iHeartMedia team in their podcast offerings. And again, that's kind of the pinnacle. You can find our show each and every day, weekday that is, 5 p.m. Central on conservativeradionetwork.com. That is our flagship station. You can also find us on the 405media.com, K98 Talk, Sackheads Radio Network, and High Plains Radio Network. So we're excited to be a part of those, and thank you so much for the offering. Starting today, Matt Locke and I are going to get together, and we're going to put down 2 hours of conservative talk, breaking down all things that we need to. Just a little different flavor on some of the same news, and it's fun to get together with Matt. I love the guy. I think he's a great conservative. And so pay attention to that. That's going to be listed under the conservative cartel, because we do not believe that the Constitution, the Bible, and our firearms are contraband, and we're going to fight that. And so the conservative cartel makes its appearance later today. I will bring you news as I get it on that. It will be carried on a number of terrestrial radio stations as well as our normal outlets. So keep that in mind. With all of that said, we have some news out of Indiana. And you know that Matt Locke, my buddy, lives in Indiana. He lives in the Fort Wayne area, and he does some work there on the Matt Locke Show. He also does some work for some local radio stations. And After we came out of the Northeast, after we came out of what happened in New York and just that dominant victory by Donald Trump, and then what happened in the Northeast and the dominant victory there by Donald Trump, I got to looking at the math, and the math said this thing was over. It was just flat out over. Even if Trump didn't have a great night in Indiana, the path was still pretty clear, and we did the math yesterday. I think he needed somewhere between 40 and 45% of the remaining delegates to capture 1237 going in, and that didn't include the unbound delegates. And so I made the argument it's over. Regardless of what happens in Indiana, it's over. Well, Indiana happens last night, and I don't know that anybody saw this coming. I got together with Matt Locke, and I just asked him, and you have your finger on the pulse of what's going on up there. You know what's going on. You see how it's happening. And he explained to me that 30 of the delegates would go to the winner of the popular vote in the state. The remaining 27 would be divided equally among the 9 congressional districts, 3 each, and it's a winner-take-all in each district. And as we looked at this, and Matt explained it to me based on what he was seeing up there, it looked like Trump was going to have a great night. He was very confident that Trump would win the popular vote among the state, and he argued that he could all but guarantee at least 5 of the congressional districts. It was looking more like 7. Well, here we sit the day after. Some of the numbers are still being calculated, but we have a really good idea of what's going on. Trump captured 53.3% of the popular vote. Cruz got 36.7 and Kasich 7.5. Trump currently has, at the time we're recording this, according to Fox News, 51 of the 57 delegates. That means there are 2 congressional districts that are still out. And that means he captured 7 of the 9 congressional districts. We're still waiting on the other 2. Trump may have swept Indiana. That may have happened. But Matt Locke was dead on. Trump won the state popular vote, and he captured at least 7 of the 9 congressional districts. This goes back to my point. It's that Perot effect. Indiana was supposed to be fertile ground for Ted Cruz. Indiana was supposed to be, according to Ted Cruz, more favorable terrain. But people like voting for winners. And the writing was on the wall. If you listen to this show, as much as I hate to admit it, I had to pull my Cruz sign out of my front yard today. I am a Cruz guy through and through. But more importantly than being a Cruz guy, I'm an American. And I see what this administration has done. And I see what Hillary claims she plans to do. And I am anti-Hillary more than I am anything else. And Hillary is going to be the nominee from the left. We've talked about that side being rigged from the jump with superdelegates. So I have made the personal decision to lay down my sword and jump on the Trump train. Now, as we go through this hour, I'm going to express my reservations. I'm going to. I have to. But I'm telling you, and I'm talking to the Cruz listeners right now, those self-proclaimed constitutionalists, those self-proclaimed conservatives, I'm talking to you because I am one. I understand your reservations. We're going to walk through all of that. But at the end of the day, not voting is unacceptable. It is absolutely unacceptable. Too many people have lost their lives securing that right to vote. Not voting is unacceptable. So if we vote, if you just fundamentally disagree with Donald Trump, what do? We're going to get into that. But that's not the only news last night. In fact, that's not the biggest news last night. The biggest news last night is this right here. This is Ted Cruz after the results were in Indiana.
From the beginning, I've said that I would continue on as long as there was a viable path to victory. Tonight, I'm sorry to say, it appears that path has been foreclosed. Together, we left it all on the field in Indiana. We gave it everything we've got. But the voters chose another path. And so, with a heavy heart, but with boundless optimism for the long-term future of our nation, we are suspending our campaign. But hear me now, I am not suspending our fight for liberty. I am not suspending our fight to defend the Constitution, to defend the Judeo-Christian values that built America. Our movement will continue. And I give you my word that I will continue this fight with all of my strength and all of my ability.
Now, this was a very humbling moment for those of us who supported Cruz, but I don't think any of us who looked at this objectively can't say they didn't see it coming after the last couple of weeks. But I want you to hear Ted Cruz's words as he suspends his campaign. For the long-term well-being of this nation, and I'm paraphrasing, it is for that reason I'm suspending my campaign. But I'm not done fighting for liberty. But for the long-term well-being of our country, I suspend my campaign. What does he mean by that, for the long-term well-being? Well, let me explain it to you, because it's not that ambiguous. It's actually pretty cut and dry. He understands the situation. He understands that if this Republican Party is fractured at its base and we go into the general election not united, Hillary wins. And we've explained on this show what the results of a Hillary administration will be. It will be continued negotiations and under-the-table deals with the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism in Iran. The same Iran that kidnaps and captures our soldiers, that has made unequivocal announcements that their sole mission is to destroy Israel, our only democratic ally. The same Iran who is working towards a nuclear weapon, following in the footsteps of North Korea, the same North Korea that Bill Clinton made a nuclear power, mind you. It includes not keeping our borders secured, but in fact doing quite the opposite, enticing illegal aliens to come over with different benefits and entitlements, and how someone who's not a citizen of the United States is entitled to anything from the United States is beyond me. It escapes logic, but that is what it is. That's Hillary's stance. Sanctuary cities will continue to hold. This whole idea of bringing in these Syrian refugees in mass is the goal of this administration. And it will be the goal of Hillary, even though these intelligence officials have said we can't vet them. That will continue. Obamacare will continue. The same Obamacare that continues to suffocate and eliminate small businesses, the very backbone of our economic system here in the United States. That is the alternative, and Ted Cruz recognizes that. Now, I have a odd suspicion in the fact that Ted Cruz spoke for almost 20 minutes last night, and Donald Trump's name didn't come up once. He didn't say, hey, let's jump on the Trump train. Let's back this guy, because he has the same reservations I have. I'm just a step ahead of Ted Cruz in understanding the very principle he laid out there, that if we do not unite as a party, we're in a world of mess. Now, I've heard all this, never Trump, never Trump. And in fact, I spent some time on Twitter this morning, and I said we have to lay down our swords and unite. And I just caught an incredible backlash. Never Trump, never Trump. He's no better than Hillary. You can't differentiate him from Hillary. He is a liberal, so on and so forth. And I asked, well, what is the alternative? Don't tell me what is, because I understand what is. What is the alternative? What do you do as a conservative Christian who believes in the Constitution? What do you do in this situation? And I got two answers. Vote for Hillary. Well, are you kidding me? How can you stand up and say I'm a conservative constitutionalist who believes in God and say Hillary's your choice? That's blasphemy at its finest. The other option was write in. Well, do we not remember what happened during the Bush-Clinton campaign season? We had a Ross Perot. We had a third party. And that sent Bill Clinton to office for 8 years. Third parties historically, constantly, and consistently disrupt the base of those of us on the right. So doing that, basically writing off your vote with a right-hand candidate, destroys any chance we have at the right winning the election. That's just how it is. Moreover, not voting. When Mitt Romney, and everybody knows what I think of Mitt Romney, he's a joke. But he would have been leaps and bounds better than President Barack Obama. 5 million Christians didn't show up to vote, and that was the difference in the election. They chose not to vote, maybe because he's Mormon. I don't know. Maybe because they didn't like the two candidates, and so they were taking their ball and going home. Whatever the case is, I firmly believe that everything that's happened in Barack Obama's second term lands squarely on those 5 million Christians that stayed home. You have an obligation to participate. That's just how it is. And so there we are. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk about Donald Trump's victory speech last night. We're going to break it down. And then I am going to talk about some of the reservations I have with this guy. And I welcome the feedback. I welcome you to email me. Get on Twitter. Tell me your thoughts. I welcome it because I don't have all the answers. I'm as shocked and dumbfounded as a lot of people in this country at the results of last night. But as you try to look at it objectively, I only see one reasonable path that doesn't end in complete and utter guaranteed disaster of our country. There's only one path. So on the other side, let's get into that. Hang tight.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessory store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 5 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Let Twisted Roads Trading Post be the place to go. Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Sewing, embroidery, and T-shirt printing services are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit TwistedRoadsTradingPost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Let's get back to the program. If you're sick of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C., then it's time to arm yourself with knowledge from the Blue Collar Professor. Here's your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
So Indiana closes out last night, and Donald Trump has won every delegate that's been assigned up to this point. It looks like it just might be a sweep. The only question is the Fort Wayne area. As to whether he cleans house or not. And we've talked about Cruz's concession speech. He suspended his campaign last night. And that really leaves us with one candidate. Donald Trump now is, all the media has to concede. All of those of us in the base have to concede that Donald Trump is the GOP candidate. Now, this governor out of Ohio, John Kasich, is still around. And nobody can figure out why. He is in fourth place in a two-man race. That's where he's at. I don't even know how you accomplish that. But he has been shut out the same way Cruz has been shut out. And Cruz sees the writing on the wall. And we talked about his concession speech. For the well-being of this country, I got to suspend my campaign because he understands what a fractured base means moving into the general election. That's how we get beat. That's it. And so, with all of that said, Donald Trump just put a shellacking on the field last night. I mean, it was an epic beatdown, and it comes on the heels of 6 other epic beatdowns. The writing's on the wall. This thing's over. And I kind of made a plea last segment to understand those of us who were with Trump supported Cruz. This is a process, and the majority of people have spoken. And I don't want to hear this nonsense that they're not as smart as the Cruz people. They just don't get it. That when people hurl personal insults, it's because they don't have anything to come back with. Now, I'm not talking about the candidates. There's a lot of strategic maneuvering in what they say. There's not a lot said on a campaign trail that's by accident. I'm talking about us, the common people. You have to have some intelligence about you. You just can't come back and hurl insults. If there's a problem, propose a solution. And I asked for a solution this morning on Twitter, and I've only got 2 responses. And I've gotten them a number of times. 1, I'm not voting. We talked about that. And 2, I'm voting for Hillary. We talked about that. That's insane to me. Those aren't answers. And then, well, maybe there will be a third candidate. I'll write it in. That's nonsense. So Trump comes out last night and actually, very surprisingly, completely presidential. He takes his time to thank the GOP, to thank the committee itself and all they do. He thanks Ted Cruz and actually pays him a compliment. And then he turns his eyes on Hillary. The next stop on the campaign trail is the West Virginia primaries for some of these guys. And he goes right after her right there. And so let's listen to some of what Trump had to say.
So again, folks, this has been an amazing evening. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect it. And what Ted did is really a very brave thing to do and a great thing to do, because we want to bring unity to the Republican Party. We have to bring unity. It's so much easier if we have it. And many, many people are calling that you wouldn't even believe. The media, the press, they wouldn't believe. People that have said the worst things about me. I've never had things said about me like this. You know, in my businesses, I've always been very respected. People didn't talk to me this way. But in politics, it's easy. The worst things. And they're calling now, and they're calling us all, and they're saying, we'd love to get on the train, the Trump train, they call it, but we'd love to get on the team. And I actually spoke to one today, and who was vicious. I mean, this guy was unbelievable. And I said, I love having you, and, you know, I think it's terrific. But after what you said about me, how can you possibly join our team? And he said, Mr. Trump, don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. There'll be no problem. In other words, he's a politician. There's no problem. I would have had a hard time. But we have a lot of people coming on, lots of congressmen. I have to thank Jeff Sessions, Senator Jeff Sessions, one of the most respected. I have to tell you that I've competed all my life, competitive person. All my life I've been in competitions, different competitions, whether it's sports or business or now for 10 months politics. And I have to tell you that I have met some of the most incredible competitors that I have ever competed against right here on the Republican Party. You know, we started off with that 17 number. And just so you understand, Ted Cruz, I don't know if he likes me or if he doesn't like me, but he is one hell of a competitor. He is a tough, smart guy. And he has got an amazing future. He's got an amazing future. So I want to congratulate Ted. And I know how tough it is. It's tough. It's tough. I've had some moments where it was not looking so good. And it's not a great feeling. And so I understand how Ted feels, and Heidi and their whole beautiful family. And I want to just say, though, that one tough competitor. Now we're going to Nebraska, where I just hear we're doing really wonderfully. I look forward to that very much. And West Virginia, and we're going to get those miners back to work. I'll tell you what, we're going to get those miners back to work. We're not going to be Hillary Clinton. And I watched her 3 or 4 weeks ago when she was talking about the miners as if they were just numbers. And she was talking about she wants the mines closed and she will never let them work again. Let me tell you, the miners in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, which was so great to me last week, and Ohio, and all over, they're going to start to work again, believe me. You're going to be proud again to be miners.
So for the most part last night, Trump stayed above the fray. Incredibly complimentary to Ted Cruz. And I believe Donald Trump in that this wasn't personal to him. None of this was personal to him. He did what he felt he had to do to win. I don't know if I can say the same thing about Ted Cruz. I don't know if it got personal with him or not. We haven't heard him respond yet. But in the world of hypotheticals, I want to step back and just how great would it be for those of us who are looking to fix this country, for those of us who are sick of the liberal policies and the liberal ideals and making us victims, all of that being shoved down our throat. How awesome would it be if we had the opportunity to vote for a Cruz-Trump ticket? Not in that order. It'd be a Trump-Cruz ticket at that point. And 8 years later, Ted Cruz comes out and wins the nomination in the general election. And we had 16 years of fixing these problems this administration has laid out for us. It would be fantastic. Now, I don't know if these two guys have true disdain for each other. I don't know if they like each other, and this has been a show. I don't know if one does and the other does. I don't know. I don't know these guys. But wouldn't it be fantastic? Wouldn't it be great? But you notice there that Trump started to turn his attention toward Hillary, and he's done it slowly. Now you're going to get a heavy dose of Hillary. And I'm telling you the problem. Bernie came out last night after a win in Indiana, even though he's not going to receive the nomination, has vowed unequivocally to go all the way to the convention with this thing. And each day he's in the race, he exposes Hillary Clinton for what she is more and more and more. And the Trump camp is just sitting there loading their guns. They know the target. They know the bullets to fire. They're loading their guns. This is a bad thing for Hillary. And keep in mind, that whole email indictment is still hanging out there. It's still coming. It is still coming. And so as important as all of that is, and the chances of her getting indicted and not being a viable candidate much longer, they're high. But we have got to lay down our swords. We have to. Now, I understand the reservations that are out there. I do. Honestly and truly, in my heart of hearts, I get it. I get the problems that you see with Donald Trump. We're going to talk about it on the other side. Hang tight. We'll get deep into it. And I'll echo some sentiments that were passed along to me on a show we had on KOIF not too long ago. Hang tight.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you tired of making payments to a security company that doesn't seem to have the same values as you and doesn't offer the most recent technology? American Defense Systems is a veteran-owned and operated security company specializing in home security and automation solutions to fit your lifestyle while keeping small business owners more connected to work while on the go. American Defense Systems makes practical recommendations for families to keep your home safe without trying to sell you a bunch of extra stuff. And for businesses, American Defense Systems wants to provide you with the comfort of knowing that your business is safe by allowing you the monitoring options you need without loading you up with too many extras. American Defense Systems' goal is to provide your home or business with an affordable and technically superior security and automation system. If you're not happy with your current security system or provider, set up a no-cost consultation today at AmericanDefenseSystems.com. That's AmericanDefenseSystems.com. American Defense Systems, proud to be a veteran-owned company.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Do you believe in conservative politics, common sense issues, and the U.S. Constitution? So does Matt Locke. Who is Matt Locke? Well, Matt's just a guy that believes, like many of you, that our country is headed in the wrong direction. If you feel the same, then go to Matt's new website, themattlockshow.com. Matt is a friend of the Gavin Mitchell Show, and he's a conservative podcaster and talk show host who will shoot you straight and provide information that is important to the conservative listener. You'll hear political commentary, news, and he'll discuss the current issues that will affect you during this election season. Listen to Matt's daily podcast anytime on his website at themattlockshow.com, spelled MATTLOCKE, or find his show on Spreaker.com and TuneIn.com. He's also syndicated on ICRN, the internet's new conservative radio network. Join Matt and his guest on the Matt Locke Show daily at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific on conservativeradionetwork.com, or listen to any of his 400 archive shows at any time on themattlockshow.com. The Matt Locke Show, all things conservative politics.
The following message is brought to you by Health Markets, your first choice when you need health insurance for your small business. Do you offer health insurance to your employees? Call us now and see if you can save money. Do you want to offer vision and dental to your employees? Call us. Do you think you're paying too much for your current health insurance? Call us. Do you want somebody else to do all the legwork and search thousands of health plans from over 180 health insurance companies nationwide? Call us. We're Health Markets, and thanks to a little-known solution, we could help your business save thousands of dollars on health insurance costs and save your employees money, too. Our service is free. Don't miss the great savings. Call now.
800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. That's 800-470-8021.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., licensed in all states. Product availability varies.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
So as we continue to discuss the repercussions, the consequences of last night's events, Trump reeling off a 7th straight just dominant victory, Ted Cruz understanding the writing on the wall and suspending his campaign, and then the backlash thereof. Those of us that are #NeverTrump just absolutely refusing to give in and jump on the Trump train. And when posed with solutions, well, what is the answer? If this is what we're facing, Hillary versus Trump, what do you do? And the answers are, well, not vote for Hillary, or write in somebody. And we've addressed those. But these Never Trump people have some concerns. And I understand the concerns. I truly do. I have the same concerns myself. I've weighed them. I've thought them out. I think about it a lot, to be honest with you. What do we do? I don't know that Donald Trump is the best fit. In fact, I do know, in my opinion, he's not the best fit. But the people have spoken. The people have said their piece. They have spoken with their ballots, unlike the liberal left, who stomps on flags and causes riots and keeps people from assembling and stomping on First Amendment rights and all of that. Unlike the left, we've spoken with our votes, and the people have spoken. You can't argue the numbers. You can't argue that a majority of the people, especially here of late, want Donald Trump. You can't. But those of us who are true constitutionalists, true conservatives, those of us that are Christian people, have some concerns. And I understand it. And let's walk through it. This is Trump on being a Christian.
Well, let me ask you, because one of the potential attack lines has to do with an answer you gave to Frank Luntz months ago when you said that you'd never asked God for forgiveness. Do you regret making that remark?
No, I have great relationship with God. I have great relationship with the evangelicals. In fact, nationwide, I'm up by a lot. I'm leading everybody. But I like to be good. I don't like to have to ask for forgiveness, and I am good. I don't do a lot of things that are bad. I try and do nothing that's bad. I live a very different life than probably a lot of people would think, and I have a very great relationship with God, and I have a very great relationship with evangelicals, and I think that's why I'm doing so well with Iowa.
The life you have now, when you say that you try to do good, that sounds very different from decades of tabloid media coverage in New York, in which some of your wilder escapades were about.
I'm talking about over the last number of years.
Okay.
I've been, I'm leading a very good life. I try to lead a good life, and I have.
So those of us that are Christians, you take that, and let me explain to you Christianity for those of you who may not be believers. We believe that we are inherently sinners. We are born as sinners, and God cannot tolerate sin. And in the Old Testament, he required a blood sacrifice to atone for that sin. But Jesus Christ came and died on the cross for us as the ultimate sacrifice, as the ultimate atonement for our sins. And if we will accept Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, admit that we are sinners, ask for forgiveness, God can then have a relationship with us because he cannot be around or tolerate sin. So it takes that forgiveness that Jesus Christ offers by hanging on the cross to mend that bridge, to build that bridge, to bridge the gap. You couple that with the botched, and people say it was a mistake, the 2 Corinthians versus 2 Corinthians, and it tells me Donald Trump really isn't a Christian. He doesn't even understand the fundamental principle of being a Christian. So is he telling us the truth? Oh, I have a great relationship with God. The fact of the matter is, if you have not accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you have no relationship with God according to the Bible. So Donald Trump on social issues, and I'm going to address these one by one, but here's Donald Trump on social issues.
You think gays should be allowed to be married?
It's something I haven't given lots of thought to. I live in New York City. There's a tremendous movement on to have and allow gay marriage. It's just something that is too premature for me to comment on.
How about gays serving in the military?
It would not disturb me. I mean, hey, I lived in New York City and Manhattan all my life, okay? So, my views are a little bit different than if I lived in Iowa, perhaps. But it's not something that would disturb me.
Partial birth abortion, the eliminating of abortion in the 3rd trimester, big issue in Washington. Would President Trump ban partial birth abortion?
Well, look, I'm very pro-choice. And again, it may be a little bit of a New York background because there is some different attitude in different parts of the country. And, I was raised in New York and grew up and work and everything else in New York City.
But you would not ban it?
No.
Or ban partial birth abortion?
No, I am pro-choice in every respect and as far as it goes, but I just hate it.
So there we are, right? He's kind of indifferent on gay marriage. He's pro-choice by every sense of the word. But now Donald Trump is pro-life. His buddy had a kid that they wanted to terminate the pregnancy. They didn't. Now the kid's the apple of his buddy's eye. And that changed his views. That may be true. It may be. But then he comes out during this campaign season and says, we need to adjust the platform on which this party takes on abortion, saying that we need to be more liberal in that stance. And so you collect all of this. We're going to build a wall, and then rumors leak that he told the New York Times he's not going to build a wall at all. When you couple all of that, the 5 different positions he took on should a woman be punished if she were to have an abortion under the hypothetical situation that abortion were illegal. I came out on this show and I said, explain to me why she shouldn't. If it's an illegal activity and she partaked in it, gave permission to do it, why shouldn't she? And the only answer I got back is, well, that's the traditional conservative stance. That doesn't work for me, folks. I'm conservative because after I process a set of facts, my life experiences, my beliefs, my values dictate this result. And that result just happens to fall in the bin that we call conservative. I do not accept the fact, well, that's the way it's always been. Those are dangerous words. That's the way it's always been. But that aside, he took 5 different positions in like 2 days. And so you begin to understand. Now, I hear the Trump people. Yeah, but Cruz we're not talking about Cruz. Cruz suspended his campaign last night. That book is closed. We're talking about Donald Trump, the GOP nominee now, and why people have a reservation. And I get it. But I brought on Dr. Ronnie Floyd. Dr. Ronnie Floyd is the president of the Southern Baptist Convention. I brought him onto the show one Saturday night, and I said, Dr. Floyd, listen to Donald Trump. And I played the soundbite where he said, no, I've never asked for forgiveness. And I asked him point blank, have I missed something here as a Christian? Isn't the very premise of being a Christian accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and accepting that gift of mercy for our sins? Isn't that the whole premise? And he laughed. He said, no, Gavin, you haven't missed anything. And I said, then what do we do, Dr. Floyd? We have a guy here who's flip-flopping, and this is what he said. He said to ask for a candidate that is a born-again Christian and stands for everything we are in this country that is so diverse is a tall order. That's a tall order to ask for. And we have to understand that. What we need is somebody who won't suppress our beliefs, who won't extinguish the flame of Christianity. We need somebody like that. And then we have to understand we're electing a CEO, even if they're of the secular value. Now, some of this flip-flopping, I get it. I get the reservations. I truly do. But that doesn't stack up to Hillary. It doesn't stack up to her absolute disregard for the security of this country, her absolute commitment to continuing these policies that have put us in this hole we're in. Let me be clear. I sound like the president. Let me be clear. I understand. But if you take this and you look at it objectively and you weigh it, there's only one conclusion here. You have definite destruction in Hillary, and you have some uncertainty with Donald Trump. How do you not take that uncertainty in hopes that it goes better? Yeah, I don't have that answer. But I will continue to echo, we must come together. On the other side, we're going to leave the election for a little bit. We're going to talk some food stamps. Finally, somebody is requiring people to work to get some benefits. It's fascinating. Let's talk about it on the other side.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
So we talked about this some weeks ago, that there was this movement in several states to make people who rely on food stamps, after a certain period, after we help them get up off the ground, that we help them to their feet, that they have to do something, whether it's work a part-time job or get some training, whatever the case may be, they have to do something for at least 20 hours a week or those benefits end. The idea is those people who think the government should pay their way, those days are over. The government doesn't owe you a thing. But the assistance, when you have hard times, that occasional time when you just, no matter how hard you try, you can't make ends meet, that's what these systems are for. And so in Alabama, they reinstituted this work requirement waiver, allowing it to expire. There are a lot of places that they just waive this work requirement. But according to the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act of 1996, limits the receipt of food stamps to 3 months in a 36 period for able-bodied adults without dependents who are not working at least 80 hours per month. Now, that working is loosely defined. You can go get training. You can go to school, whatever the case is. But you've got to be doing something to improve your life and your situation. Well, Alabama, this took hold January 1st this year, and at the time there were almost 50,000 people in the state, ages 18 to 49, who were relying on food stamps. Now, hear me, for this to qualify, you have to be 18 to 49, you have to be able-bodied, you can't have a disability, and you have no dependents, right? As of May 1st, the number of people in that category had fallen to just over 15,000. The state is saving more than $6 million a year as a result of implementing this policy. The work, now here's the caveat here. In hard times, this is it's scooted to the side. The work requirement will not take effect in 13 of Alabama's 67 counties, because the unemployment rate is higher than 10% in those areas. And so they gauge the economic well-being. How difficult is it really to get a job? If the unemployment level is higher than 10%, then this rule doesn't apply. But if it's below 10%, then you should be able to get a job. On a national level, more than 500,000 Americans and up to a million may be tossed off food stamp rolls. So somewhere between 500,000 and 1 million may be subject to this rule, this you don't qualify anymore. And hear me, those professional victims out there who think everybody's out to get you. This is a good thing. When people are forced to work, when people have to work, when they have to put things together, they can do some amazing things. Now, we talked a little bit about this situation, I believe, in Georgia, where they were talking about allowing drug offenders to be able to qualify for these food stamps. And I think it's a great idea, but the same requirements need to apply there as they do everywhere else. You can't become a sponge, because what happens is if you become a sponge, your neighbor becomes a sponge. They see that they don't have to work. They can be lazy. They don't have to contribute. And it's a domino effect. And when you look up, if the liberals have their way, we turn into Greece. In Greece, 70% of the population wasn't working, but were drawing entitlements from the government, and 30% were trying to support them because they were working. They were paying their taxes. The end result is that Greece blew up. The economy completely collapsed because you can't have 30% of the people supporting 70% of the population. The math doesn't add up. That's the end result if we don't put these guardrails up to keep this in check. That's how it has to happen. And so this is a great thing. It's not racist as some people are going to claim. It's not sexist as some people are going to claim. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to encourage people to actually go out and work. It's fantastic. With that said, folks, that's going to do it for today. Hey, I want to remind you that Matlock and I are getting together later this afternoon, and we're going to do 2 hours of radio. We couldn't have picked a better day to do this. But you'll be able to find that offering on the conservativeradionetwork.com. That is the place to go to get it. We will get all the terrestrial stations to you that it's on, all the other outlets, but that's where you're going to find us. We are excited about that and ready to rock and roll. In the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a great day. We're going to see you tomorrow. I hope you'll think on this. I hope you'll think about the consequences of not voting Republican this election. I am Gavin Mitchell. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show, the Blue Collar Professor, produced in Fort Worth, Texas. If you like what you just heard, subscribe on iTunes and Spreaker.com. These and other links can be found on our website at thegavinmitchellshow.com. Be sure to tell your friends and colleagues about the Blue Collar Professor's daily podcast. Join us again next time as we take the liberals to school. All opinions expressed by the host or guests on this series are solely their opinions and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of the Gavin Mitchell Show or its affiliates. This has been a Ron Phillips, Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production.